everybody. I hope everybody's alright. I'm Husky Light. Thank you for stopping by. I wanted to go into synchronicities and random synchronicities that we get sometimes, and why we seem to get these synchronicities that mean absolutely nothing. Sometimes we get very specific synchronicities through, and synchronicities to me nowadays are almost like being pre-cognizant. It's like you know what's about to happen because you will say something or do something and then it matches up, or something is confirmed later on which confirms what you saw or heard or said earlier on or a few days previously. Now, I'm going to give you a few examples of specific synchronicities that, have helped, that mean something. Robbie is extremely precognitive, extremely, tremendously he will do something and he does not question. When he gets the urge to do something, he does not question why that thought has appeared in his head. He doesn't think, well, why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do that? He does it. He follows that intuition, which always works out perfectly well, and it's there for a reason. And it's a very meaningful synchronicity, but I like to call it precognizance with him. So there's examples of during the winter, he will sit there and suddenly say, we need to go out and buy more sand. Okay, all right, we'll go get more sand. I don't argue with him. I don't say that's a silly idea. I'll go, fine, and we'll go and do it. There's nothing in the weather report to say any different. There's no real reason for us to go out and buy sand, but guaranteed on the times that he has done it, then the next day we have needed that sand because there's been extreme ice, and we've not been able to move the car or whatever, but we have sand, so we've been able to get out. That was during the winter. He'll get an urge to move his car out of the driveway and go and park it somewhere else. Why would you do that? Why would you go and move the car? He did this a couple of weeks ago. He said, I'm going to go and move the car. Okay, again, he never questions it. And again, 5 minutes after he moved that car, we had Hydro come over to the house and arrive, and they needed access to the driveway. If his car had been there, they would not have been able to get in. It would have been a lot of messing about to actually move it. So that he has all these examples of just following his intuition and then it working out for the very, very best. We had a crazy conversation about past lives a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me all about a past life that he'd had, and his name was Rufus. In that past life, I think he was, oh gosh, it's going to tell me off for not remembering now, Italian. I think he was, he worked for an Italian general. His name was Rufus. Anyway, we had this big conversation. Anyway, my little dog was at the vet's the next day, and as I'm stood in the vet's at the counter, there's a dog next to me, and I said, oh, that's a really cute dog, what's his name? Do you want to guess what his name was? Rufus. I was like, oh, okay, his name's Rufus. I should have known, went back out to the car, told Robbie, had a laugh about it, and I'm getting to why these happen. Robbie will go in a shop and he will hear a song, and it happened to him the other day, and he went in and he went, why do they do this? Why do they do this to me? I said, do what? He said, they're playing a song over the tannoy in the shop that I've not heard for absolutely years, and yet I heard it last night, or I was singing it in my head last night, and now suddenly it's being blasted out across the shop, and it's there. So, and that's a meaningless one. That doesn't particularly mean anything. Sometimes we'll hear songs, or we'll think of a movie star or a singer or something, and then we'll find out the next day they've actually died. Things like that. So we have these very random synchronicities that don't seem to mean anything, and then we have synchronicities or pre-cognizance, which are brilliant. They do mean something. We needed to do it. We followed our intuition. I myself am also obviously very precognitive, and I will do things without knowing why I'm doing it, but then the reason will become clear. We went into black fly season a couple of weeks ago, week and a half ago, here out in the woods. Now at night I always go to bed with my headphones on. I'm playing meditations, I'm playing YouTube videos to help me drop off to sleep, and I never go to sleep without my headphones. About a week and a half ago, whenever it was, a little voice said to me, take your headphones out. And I went, what? Take my headphones out? Anyway, I immediately took them out. I said, okay, fine, I'm going to go to sleep without my headphones on. Don't know why, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to sleep without them on. And I took them off. A few minutes later, I can hear raucous in the kitchen, coming from the kitchen direction. Didn't know what was going on. Got up to see what all the ruckus was about, and it was Robbie and my daughter, and my daughter's like, oh my god, look at all those flies, and all of the black flies had just hatched. They'd just come into season, and they were all over and coming through the mosquito netted doors, and Robbie was like, shut the door, do not let them into the house. Now, if I'd have kept my headphones in, I would not have heard any of this. And I like to wake up, I'm in the 3 o'clock club, the 3 a.m. club, and I wake up in the early hours of the morning, and sometimes, so not to disturb anyone, I will actually come out and sleep in the shed, which sounds awful. I'm going to go and sleep in the shed, but actually this is our office. This is where I do my YouTube videos. We've got the comfiest settee ever. This is where I do regressions and readings. Comfiest settee, couch ever out here. So sometimes I will come out here now. If I'd have walked out of the door at 3 o'clock in the morning that night, I would have been absolutely eaten alive, and I'm not joking, by black flies. Because I would not have known what was going on. I would have been asleep. I would have fallen asleep with my headphones on, but because I was told to take them out, and I followed that instruction, I knew what was going on, and it put me out of the line of danger with it. When you're precognizing, you are, and it's with deja vu as well, when you get that deja vu, when you sort of think, oh my god, I've done this before, and you suddenly realise that it's something that you're doing seems so familiar, so familiar, and you just say, I've done this before, I've been here, I've done it, I've felt this way, I've had these thoughts. It's simply because you are remembering details that you put into your Akashic record, into your contract, before you came down here, before your spirit went into a human vessel. So this is what is happening every time you have a synchronicity or a random synchronicity, or precognitive, however you want to call it. Sometimes they're very synchronistic, Other times you realise that you're being precognitive about things. Every time you do that, you are actually pre-remembering that this is a detail that you put into your chart, into your Akashic record, your life plan before you came down here. You don't write out just a random life plan. You put every little detail into that plan when you come down here. Yes, we do have free will when we come down here, but the free will is only because a situation will come to us which has been pre-planned, which has been put into the chart or the Akashic record, and the free will comes in when you decide on how you are going to deal with that situation, or if you are going to fall in, see that person or go and get that job, or there is a free will that is there. But that situation that you put into your record, into your chart, is still going to be presented to you. The free will comes in on how you actually are going to deal with it. So all of these details you are just pre-remembering, and what it's actually doing, because you are, the veil is so thin, you are going through your awakening process, you are on a spiritual journey, you are just literally being reminded that yes, you are in exactly the right place, at the right time, right now. And here is your reminder. Do you remember putting this into your chart? This little detail, and we've actually you put it into your chart to actually remember it as well. So when it shows up, it's just a confirmation, a reminder that you are completely on the right path. And these precognition episodes, these synchronicities, these seemingly random things that come through, they're not random at all. They are not random at all, and they are showing you, hey, remember this you put in your chart, remember this you put in your Akashic record. And you're having the ability and having the spiritual awareness of starting to see it coming before it comes. So as soon as you see that synchronicity or that precognition and then it works out, you can just say to yourself, oh wow, yeah, this is what I did. I put it in my chart. I'm just being reminded of it. And there it is. So I could go on and on about daily synchronicities that I have, that Robbie has. But the more you awaken, the more you go on this journey, the more the veil thins in this world, between this world and 5D. The more the veil thins between here and the astral plane, the more you will experience things like this on a daily basis. And I think the main thing is never to be afraid, never to get in fear about it, because it used to scare me when it first started happening to me. And it came in because I had such a big, quick Kundalini awakening. It came in very rapidly, and I literally thought I was going crazy. It scared the living daylights out of me. Could not understand at all what was going on, other than I'm crazy. I need to be locked up here. Something is very, very wrong. But obviously I was told to go on YouTube. And again, I did actually scream and shout about that. I said, no, I'm not going on YouTube. Why would I do that? You want me to go and tell the whole world that I'm crazy? But no, once you start connecting with other people that are going through the same experiences that you are, then you know that you're not crazy, that you know that this is part of a universal consciousness awakening which is going on. And it's happening for very important reasons. We are on this earth and we are awakening for specific reasons. For the most of us, if we are going through this, regardless actually of whether we are twin flames or not. I think if you are just on the awakening journey, it means you are a very old soul. It means you have been here countless times before, and you are on your last lifetime now. This is it. The lifetime in which you start to remember and start to awaken and start to have all of these experiences and see the numbers. This is your last lifetime, and this is a reminder of it, that it's your last lifetime. And there is so many of us here on the earth at this time because it's their last lifetime too. Everybody is down here to experience what is coming. Everybody is wanting to experience this, going into the age of Aquarius, going into this different timeline, this complete shift in our earth, literally, and this complete timeline shift, coming out of one age and moving into another age, which completely, as we move up through the equator and we move above the meridian line, as Earth goes above that, our consciousness raises, our consciousness comes up. We are coming out of the Dark Age. The Dark Age is where we were brought down to a level where we couldn't think properly, where we were dumbed down, and we're starting to raise up out of that. So I'm going to stop here. I hope this helps. I hope this helps a lot. And just remember, when you get those random ones that you don't even understand, it's just a reminder. It's just a reminder that you're in exactly the right place at the right time, you're doing the right thing, and you are fulfilling the path that you are meant to take in this last lifetime. So take care. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.